Welcome back to my channel. My name is Kate and this is Ripper Seams. A big thank you to all of you who have watched my previous videos and have come back for more. You are absolute champions. And if you're new here, welcome. If you haven't already done so, I would love it if you would support my channel by clicking on that subscribe button. That way you won't miss out on any of my future videos, and you can click on that notification bell just to be doubly sure. And with all that, let's get stuck into this week's video. So this week we are going to do things a little bit differently because we're going to go outside. And the reason for this is I thought it might be fun to show you what I made in my very first year of sewing. Now that's only quite recently because I am less than 18 months into my official garment sewing journey. Now I have made lots of things with a sewing machine beforehand, mainly bowl cozies, curtains, cushion covers, but nothing really that I could wear out in public. Whilst I was going through all my Me-Made posts, I started going, well, this might be fun to actually document everything that I made all the way from January last year through to December. And it was a good way for me to really reflect and understand my kind of thought pattern and review my confidence levels and my skill abilities as it grew throughout the year, certain trends I was noticing, and how that's really shaped my thinking into what I'm making in 2024. So rather than hold up each item and talk about them, or maybe put them on Barbara and pushing her down a catwalk, I thought I would put the garments on the person that it was actually made for. That way we can actually get a full assessment of what this garment looks like when it's moving around on an actual human body, but also how it fits and how that fabric flows on them, all these bits and pieces that kind of go into the enjoyment and success of any particular make. Now, not all the items I made last year were for myself, and I've been very fortunate that my family members have volunteered to help me out with this video, with the added bonus that they have decided to contribute in their own special way, including the dogs. For each make, I've decided to give it a rating out of 3 different categories. The first is all about a brain friendliness, and that is how easy this item was to make in the first place. Were the instructions any good? Were there online tutorials to follow? Now, to represent brain friendliness out of 5, we are going to use this happy, smiley little brain guy here. Isn't he cute? Does it fit is the next category. Did I get my measurements right? Did I make it in the right size? Were there any other improvements that I could have made? So to represent this, I have got this person here questioning the fit of their pants. The final category is lovableness, and this is all related to, despite what the other ratings say, how much we actually love this item. Do we find joy in it? Do we wear it lots, even though it may not be 100% perfect? So what represents this? Well, of course, otters do. So we're going to give it an otter score out of 5. So following all this, I will also give it a yes, no, or maybe as to whether I would make it again based on that particular experience. Because we've got a lot to get through for each of my makes, I'm just going to give you a brief overview of what the pattern is, what I've made it out of, as well as like any other kind of details related to the particular make in question. If you want anything specific about the patterns in regards to size range or fabric choices, variations and so on, I'll put a link to all the patterns down in the subscription box where you can go and check out those patterns at your leisure. Right, I have talked enough and the catwalk awaits. Let's get you out into my back garden where our non-professional models await, and I'll see you on the other side. So here we are, it is January, and my very first make are the Jamie Pyjama Shorts by Tilly and the Buttons. Now this is a super easy pattern, and I was so pleased that I got these made. Not only did I make them, but I also finished my seams with a zigzag stitch. I didn't use any elastic, I just used a simple drawstring, and I wear these pajamas all the time. They are starting to get faded. I wash them and wear them so much. They're just so comfy, I can't fault them. So brain friendliness, I give this 5 happy little brains because yeah, this was really easy to follow. The instructions are great, and there's also a tutorial and lots of hand holding all the way through, as Tilly often does. I think these fit great. The sizing was really true to size, and I didn't have to do anything other than pick the right measurements for me. Lovability, like I said, I wear these non-stop, so this is going to get a 5 otter rating. So yeah, overall, I will make these again. These are a really good standard fit for pajama bottoms. The only thing I would like to have had is pockets. Now, because of my successful pajama make, my daughter wanted some as well, so we chose Simplicity S9208 to make some pajama shorts for her. Now, she chose the fabric, which is a quilting cotton, which has got Hedwig from Harry Potter on it, and she just thinks these are great. She wears them lots and lots. So overall, the pattern was pretty straightforward, just not as detailed as, say, the Tilly and the buttons were. So we are going to give them a 4 out of 5 for brain friendliness here for simplicity. It fits really well for a kid's pant. You can't go wrong with the elastic waist. I think the length is really good. I think my daughter just would have liked them a little bit shorter, so we'll give it a 4 out of 5. Lovability, she still loves them. She loves the pattern that's on them, and she wears them constantly. So we're going to give them a big tick, and we will make these again for sure. Now, off the back of that, we had some leftover fabric, so we decided to turn that into a bucket hat. Now, this is a free pattern from Mood that you can get online. They've got some okay instructions on there, but we ended up looking for some more detailed instructions over the internet for just a general bucket hat, and because we wanted to make it reversible. Overall, we think that because of that, we're probably going to give the brain friendliness a bit of a 3 out of 5 rating for this one, because I think, yeah, there's lots of options to do this. How it fits really well. The actual size of the hat fits perfectly to size, and but I just think it's a little bit floppy. So we're going to give it a lovability otter score of 3, because it probably could have done with a bit more interfacing, but it's a bit of a hit and miss. Not going to make this one again, because there is a Waves and Wild bucket hat which you can get for free from their website, which we're going to try next, and also has a really good tutorial to go with it. So bucket hats, Waves and Wild going forward. So next up are the Erin dungarees by Tilly and the buttons. Man, I was so pleased making these really early on, just purely for the fact that these instructions were fantastic. I made them out of baby cord and had some check lining on the inside. I didn't have an overlocker, so I finished all the seams with a zigzag stitch. This is still, I'm so proud of these. The only problem is they don't fit me very well. They're very, very big, and definitely a learning opportunity going forward. So I think overall, brain friendliness, the instructions were fantastic. I didn't have to look anywhere else, just followed the actual written instructions and the sew along. So I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5 for that. Fit wise, like I said, this was a bit of a disaster on my front. I'm going to give it 2, and definitely could have gone down at least 2 or 3 sizes on this one. That's just me not understanding the ease that was in there and picking the wrong size. Lovability, I'm going to give them a 3. I still like wearing these. I'm just not going to wear them out in public. This is something from home. Am I going to wear them again? Probably not, or maybe I will. I don't know. There's other dungaree patterns out there which might suit me better, so maybe I'll try those. Next up is a wrap skirt from New Look, which is the 6456 wrap skirt, which comes in 3 different lengths. Now, this is my first time using viscose fabric, and that was an experience. As a result, it was a little bit tricky on my brain to figure out, so probably lose a few points there, but overall I'm actually pleased with it. It took a little of getting used to getting the hem straight as well, but overall I think I really like the final finished look of this one. Now, this is a dead stock fabric from Rainbow Fabrics, and I think it's really great for spring and summer, and you can put it with a cardigan or just with a simple vest top like this. So brain friendly, I'm going to give it 3. It was a little bit challenging just purely for the fabric and trying to figure out some of the instructions. I think it fits really well because it is a wrap skirt. It can be pretty flexible in sizing and so on. And overall, I'm going to give it a 3, although looking at these pictures, I could probably push that up to a 4 even. Oh, well, let's see what we do this summer. Am I going to make it again? Maybe, maybe not. I think there's other skirts beckoning for me to make them, but I'll put this one on the sideline. Definitely something to reach for, because this one actually turned out pretty decent. Yeah. Now, because I was after those pockets from the Tilly and Buttons first time round, I have now reached for Serena Patterns James shorts to try and fill that gap. Now, these ones are a unisex pant, and as a result, I just don't like the look of these. But these are really well made as well. The instructions were great. And I think, this is where I bought an overlocker as well. This is my first time overlocking something. So I think in general, really, really great make. Can't fault it really. I just don't like the shape of it on me. I think it just emphasizes my hips a little bit too much, and they're a bit too long. I like them a bit shorter. Instructions, like I said, were pretty good, so I'm going to give this a 4 out of 5 rating. And the fit, like I said, it's unisex, probably a little bit bulky around that front section there. I'm going to give it 4 as well. Lovability, it's going to get a 3 from me, just purely because I don't wear them as much as I would like. Despite having the pockets, I've actually given them to my husband to wear. He actually wears them more than me. Am I going to make them again? I don't know. Probably not for me, but I'll probably make them for my husband, maybe in a different fabric for him. So watch this space, not a bad pattern. So my daughter wanted more pajama pants, but in purple. So here we go. These are the same pajama pants from before, the S9208 from Simplicity. Really, really flexible. Exactly the same score. They turned out exactly the same, except this fabric was a little bit softer and nicer. So my daughter actually liked them a little bit more. So yeah, big tick on this one. Now to go with the shorts, my daughter also wanted a top. So I chose the Laramie top by Little Lizard King. Now this was a lovely find of a pattern because it was so easy to make and it comes out really nicely. It has this really nice lined hem, which makes it sit really, really nice on top of shorts. So the instructions are great as well. So I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5 for brain friendliness here because, yeah, it just worked. It fits really, really nicely. It sits nice on kids. It's nice and easy and light for summer. And my daughter loves wearing it either as a PJ top or just out with regular shorts during the day. It's quite flexible. So she gives it a 5 out of score, and so do I. So we will definitely make this again. The sizing for these Little Lizard King patterns are really good, so I do recommend them for kids. Okay, so now my husband was feeling left out on getting new pajamas made for him, given all the girls had got them. So he requested some, and I chose this pattern here, which is the S8519 PJ pants, which are a little bit more difficult because these have pockets in them and it also has a button fly as well as an elasticated waist. So there's lots going on here. So it took me a while to kind of get used to making these. I did have to find an online tutorial to get through some of the instructions here. So I'm going to give this a 3 brain friendliness score here. So I think now that I've made them a few times, that score's gone up, but at the time it was a 3. Fits really, really well. I think they were probably a little bit long and probably could have gone down one size, but that was just a rookie learning error. My husband wears these constantly. These are always being worn. So yeah, he's requested another pair. So this is definitely something we're making again in future. Aha, so now I'm finally moving away from sleepwear, and we have got the lovely Harmony top by Style Arc. I've been eyeing off this pattern for ages, and I finally thought I'd give it a try. Despite the instructions being a little bit vague, I managed to get through it. There was a really good online tutorial which I found and followed, which made the process a lot easier. I love the ruffle sleeves on this one, and it is overall a really nice make. I love the cactus print that I've got from this Minerva fabric here. The pattern instructions themselves weren't the greatest, weren't the worst either. Had to look up an online tutorial. So I give them a 4 really because I did manage to get through it and it was actually quite easy. I think this fits lovely. It's one of my favorite tops. So I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5 for fit. And lovability, again, wear it. I just wish, the only thing I wish I had done was pattern match better on the back. I've got a couple of the same cactuses right next to each other where the seam is, and I think I could have done better with that. Will I make this again? Absolutely, I will make this again. I didn't put a tick on there. That's all right. I'm definitely going to make this again. So yeah, it's definitely on rotation. Okay, I'm cheating a little bit here because this is actually a knit that I'm throwing in here. This is the Mercer cardigan by Rowan, made out of Kid Silk Haze. Technically, this is still a sewing make because I did have to sew it together, and just at the added bonus of having to physically make the fabric to sew it up from. So this is quite a plain cardigan. It's cropped style, made out of a regular stocking stitch with a bit of ribbing and cute little buttons. So really like this make. Overall, straightforward knitting instructions from Rowan. So I'm going to give it 5 out of 5 for brain friendliness. Fit, I just wish I had picked the next size up. I picked the right size for my measurements, but I should have gone up one more just in hindsight, seeing the finished garment. I like the cardigan. It's really useful. It's quite a plain neutral colour, so I do wear it quite a bit. So I'm going to give it a 4 out of score. Now, I'm not going to make this again because I very rarely make the same knit twice. That's purely why I wouldn't make it again, but I think just pattern-wise, if I had to, yeah, I wouldn't say no. So yeah, cute little cardigan to add to the list. All right, we are now hitting May, and the Mabel top had just come out, and I had to make it. I absolutely love the look of this pattern. So I've made it in a cotton lawn from Stitch Fabrics, and just wanted to go in and tackle the shirring straight on. I knew no fear. And you know what? It turned out really, really well. I had no problems with the shirring whatsoever with my machine. If anything, it was more the sleeves and getting it attached to the bodice that kind of was the biggest struggle for me. Overall, I think the top I'm wearing now, it looks a little bit small, but at the time it was actually the right size for me. So yeah, hopefully get back to that again in future. The make itself, fantastic instructions, but because it was a little bit challenging, both on the shirring and some of the attachments, I'm going to give it 4 brains. Fit overall, generally quite good. Not a fan of the peplum, so I'm going to give it 4 there. And I like the top. I think it's pretty. Looking at it from afar, I think it's okay. Will I make it again? I will. And you know what? I want to make it in the full dress form, either with the short or long sleeves. So I will be making this one in future, definitely, because I think it's a cute top and I think it came out well. So my daughter requested another dress, so we thought we'd try this Wilma dress by Style Arc Kids. Now, I wasn't too sure how this would turn out, so I bought some poly cotton to see if I could make a wearable toile, and you know what? It was totally fine. Pattern was straightforward, despite being a little bit vague for being a Style Art pattern, but otherwise a really, really enjoyable make, and it turned out fine. Brain friendly. There was a bit of thinking required about the elastication under the arms and across the back, but otherwise it turned out quite well. Overall, the fit was good. Definitely room to grow in there, and my daughter's actually been wearing this for the past 12 months. Totally fine. She absolutely loves this, constantly throwing it on, even in the middle of winter for some crazy reason. Will we be making this again? Absolutely. I'd like to try it in a viscose or some sort of drapey sequin fabric. I think it'd be a really nice party dress, and dress it up quite nicely. So yeah, we'll make it again. Now, I needed a yoga bag, and I had this fabric sitting in my stash for about the last 10 years, so I thought perfect opportunity to use it. Now, this is a pattern I found on Etsy from Emil's Handicrafts, and it did exactly what I wanted to do. I just wanted a simple bag to put my yoga mat in and my blocks, somewhere to put my keys and my phone in. So it's fully lined. It's really, really cute. I used up those scraps really nicely. Now, this did come with a zipper pocket in it. I decided to forego that and instead put my own little compartments in there, but it does have a bigger kind of Velcro closure pouch on the other side. So really, really useful little bag. Brain friendliness, the pattern instructions were pretty good, and there's also an online video tutorial as well. So yeah, generally quite good to follow. The fit is fine. It fits everything I would want in a yoga bag totally perfectly. So yeah, totally fine there. And lovability, it's a good bag. I love the color of it. It's really useful. So yeah, going to give it 4 otters on that one. Overall, am I going to make it again? No, because I've made a yoga bag. That's all I need. I only need one, so won't make it again. So my last make for May is the Ogden Cami. I'd heard so much about this pattern and how good it was that I had to give it a try, and I was certainly not disappointed. I've made it in some dead stock viscose chalet here, and you know what? I think I could have made it in a slightly smaller size. Now, I love the neckline detail, both on the front and the back. I think the straps, I did play with them to shorten them a bit, but they could definitely go shorter. So overall, I'm happy with it as my first try, and I've definitely made improvements subsequent times I have tried it. Overall, the instructions were really good, and there's heaps of online tutorials if you need them. So when it comes to being brain friendly, not a problem at all, and I give it a 5 brain happiness score. The fit, like I said, it is probably a bit too big on this particular time I've made it, so I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. Lovability, I love the fabric I used on it. It's lovely and bright, and the fabric is nice and airy and floaty, perfect for warmer weather. So I'm going to give it 5 otters. Am I going to make this again? Absolutely I am. I can see myself having multiples of these in my wardrobe, so something I will definitely keep on the cards to make again. All right, we're back on the PJ shorts again. I couldn't resist. I had to go back and try the Jamie pajama bottoms, but with pockets. Now, Tilly does put a pocket instructions and pattern piece on her blog, and I thought I'd give it a go. And you know what? I don't like it. For some reason, despite being the exact same pattern as I used last time, it didn't work out as well. It's really stiff and tight around there. I don't know whether it's the fact that I've got slightly stiffer fabric, which I don't think I do, but I think the pockets actually add the bulk in there and just really, really tighten up the area around the hips. So as a result, and because there was no specific instructions that went with the patterns, I'm going to give it a 3. My brain was really challenged. I had a really hard time with this one, and I don't like how it fits. I very rarely reach for these ones. These are like last ditch effort needed pajama bottoms. Do I love them? I love the fabric. I love this fabric so much, but I just don't like wearing the pajama shorts as they are. So I'll use that fabric again probably, but for something else. So I'm not going to make them with the pockets again, just regular, no pocket pants for me, thanks. All right, we are on to my favorite make of the year so far, and this is the Dunny shirt by Friday Pattern Company. I initially fell in love with this fabric, and as soon as I saw it, I thought, you know what, I'm going to try and make that Dunny shirt out of it because I reckon it'll look really great. And man, I was not disappointed. I love everything about this top. I love the really nice retro feel to it. It just is complemented by the fabric that I chose. The collar is just really, really nice. And I just love how there's lots of ease and movement in there. And it's like a really nice airy top to wear in hot weather. Overall, it is a great pattern, fantastic instructions, and a great tutorial to take you through the burrito method that's needed for this. So definitely a 5-brainer on the scale here. Like I mentioned, the fit is just fantastic. I love everything about it. And overall, I'm going to give this a total of 5 otters because this is great. I love this top so much, and all the other versions of this I've made. So yeah, I will be making this again, and I will continue to keep making this. It's just a really good top for me. I don't have to do anything. I can wear it straight out of the packet. Now we are firmly into June here, and man, we are on a streak of good fortune with our makes because this is the Amsterdam dress by Little Lizard King. This is such a pretty dress and such a simple pattern to make. My daughter loves it. Again, another one she just constantly reaches for. And I just love the detailing for this. It comes in different lengths. You could do a shorter length. You can have it as a top or as a full maxi dress as well. I think the instructions are great. So yeah, 5 out of 5 for that. It fits really, really well for her age. So again, 5 out of 5. And we all love this dress in the family. It's a really pretty one. So we'll be making it again. So much so they do it in adult sizes. I'm going to make one in adult size and see how it goes because I just love it. It's fun. Okay, here I am rounding out June with the Saltwater Slip by Friday Pattern Company. This has been on my agenda for a while and thought I'd give it a go. I've got all the sliders to be able to do the straps, and yeah, it ended up being a really good make. I've made it in viscose chalet in a little daisy print to take me back to the 90s when I wore this the first time around when it was in fashion. And yeah, this is a really good versatile make. I made this specifically because I was having a holiday coming up, which saw me hanging out by a pool. And yeah, it fit the bill perfectly. Overall, I thought this was a really great make. Again, really great instructions by Friday Pattern Company. I gave it 4 brains though, because I did have a bit of time having to deal with getting all the bias binding around the edges done. It fits really well. I did have to grade it out at the hips a little bit. I think I could have done that better going forward, but overall, I think it's a really good make. I do wear it quite a bit. So I gave it 4 otters, and I will definitely go to try and make this one again in future. Really cute dress, and yeah, love it. Alrighty, that's taken us to the end of June. I hope you enjoyed the first half of the year so far. Now we still have the makes from July through to December to come, and that will be in next week's video. So to make sure that you don't miss out on that one, click on that subscribe button as well as the notification bell. Of course, feel free to leave a comment down below regarding any of the makes seen in this video and whether you liked me taking you on this fabulous backyard catwalk. Now you might have clocked this already, but Barbara and myself are actually wearing clothes from this week's video, so we don't have to tell you what we're wearing this week because you've just watched it. As always, thanks so much for hanging out with me today. It is always a pleasure to have you here. And with that, I wish you a wonderful week of sewing, and I'll see you in the next video.